yesterday to today. I never thought I'd get tired of going on dates, but I'm officially there. The pin ladies and T-balls are looking quite good, and I have to force myself not to be sad. I've got a sword instead of a shiny pink jacket. Uncle Ronnie studies the betting squares, looks at me for a minute, then looks back to the betting squares. So which one from that show were you dressed up as? He asks. I'm dressed up like Arya. When it's my turn to bowl, I'm going to repeat the names of all my dates this week over and over, like she does with the people that she wants to kill. Uncle Ronnie's head pops up. I give him a big smile. Just kidding. He backs away from me slowly. Michael flies down the stairs. At least I don't feel so out of place now. He looks exactly like Jaime Lannister, except with black hair instead of blonde. He's even sporting the gold fake hand. You going to be able to bowl? You going to be able to bowl with that thing now? Charlie says, even though Charlie looks good with his hair slicked back and that white t-shirt on under his black jacket. I know him well enough to know that he is costume envy. When we were little, he dressed up like a pirate for 4 years in a row, just for the sword. Uncle Michael slides the fake hand off and back on. Don't worry about me, he says, then looks me up and down. We're Team Lannister. Did you look at any of the pics I sent you? I smile. I did, but I decided I was feeling a little less Cersei and a little more Arya. Whatever, Uncle Michael says. Uncle Michael stands in the open doorway, scanning the street. Maybe this guy will be a no-show, I think optimistically. A few minutes later, he throws his hands in the air and yells, "Finally!" to the guy walking up the front path. I had to circle the block 3 times to find a place to park, the guy says. Someone must have been throwing a party or something. Just wait until he sees who's waiting inside to meet him. He steps through the door. And Uncle Michael says, "This is Jason Moore." Jason moves closer. His hand is outstretched, and he's smiling wide and totally mistakes Sarah for me. Before she knows what hit her, Jason's shaking Sarah's hand. "Hey, it's nice to meet you." He has stars in his eyes, and she looks equally charmed, if confused. I wish I could push them out the door and let them have this date. You too, but I'm Sarah, Sophie's cousin." She nods her head to the side. His eyes leave her and land on me. And yeah, the stars are gone. Oh. Reluctantly, he lets go of Sarah's hand and reaches for mine. "Sophie, nice to meet you." The family starts whispering. Charlie pulls the sheet out and starts adjusting bets. Uncle Michael looks panicked. So, about how long does this thing last? Uncle Sal asks. Uncle Michael shakes his head. Not telling. Uncle Ronnie leans in close to Uncle Sal and says, Michael picked the 10 to 10:15 spot. Well, we'd better get going. Well, we better get going, Uncle Michael says, and and all but pulls us through the door. Just before I leave the house, I turn to Sarah and mouth, "Want to ride with us?" For a split second, I think she's considering it, but she finally shakes her head. "I'll see you there," she whispers. Maybe Nana isn't the only matchmaker in the family. Jason, Michael, and I get into Jason's car. I wasn't expecting us to ride together, but at this point in the dating game, nothing surprises me anymore. Jason and I chit-chat on the way to the bowling alley, and I find out he's a junior at the same school as Olivia, Wes, and Charlie. He has media arts with Charlie, and I hear story after story about the bizarre things that Charlie does in the name of entertainment. Wish I could say any of it surprises me, but it doesn't. Oh, it's like these pages are stuck together. Okay. I can tell when we're at the right place because every person in the parking lot is in some kind of costume. We're not the only kind of one Game of Thrones, are we? I ask Uncle Michael. Nope, he says. There's House Bolton. There's House Bolton. He points to a group of guys walking toward the door, wearing black jeans and t-shirts with the flayed man picture on the back. And then there's Lords of Pinterfell. He looks me up and down again and then adds, I guess you should be bowling with them, dressed like that. And there's a team that has no name, but we were the first. I turned to Jason and asked, have you ever done this before? I've yet to find out how Uncle Michael knows him. No, but my brother is on Michael's team, so I've heard about it. The stories do not do it justice. Do y'all dress up every time you get together? I asked Uncle Michael. Nope. Just for the end of the year bash. We get inside and Jason and I have to rent shoes. We're the only ones who need to. Everybody else not only owns their own shoes, but it looks like they also have their own bowling shoes and bowling balls. And in most cases, their team's theme has been worked into the design of the ball. We sit side by side, pulling on the blue and red shoes, when a pack of half-dressed guys walk in. It's almost like there's an invisible fan in front of them, blowing their hair back perfectly. Olivia's gonna be bummed she's not on that team. Jason laughs. I would think being oiled up like that would make bowling difficult. And oiled up they are. They're practically glistening under the fluorescent lights, while Michael and his teammates program everyone's name into the overhead scoreboard. Jason and I people watch There's a group in the lane next to us dressed up like priests and nuns named the Holy Rollers. Ha. We've also seen Team Ebola, who are a bunch of doctors in their scrubs. Some redneck-looking guys in Team Gutter Dun, and stoners in Team Smokable. Ha ha, I get it. Very clever. But my personal favorite is Team Spare Wars. Spare Wars. I'm kind of bummed they don't dress up like this all the time, I say to Jason. Okay, now that we're here, it's time to take a team picture, Uncle Michael says. He gathers everyone together and puts Jason and me in front and center. Since we're the Lannisters, I want to see arrogance and smugness. He glares at my outfit yet again. Or we could all aim our swords at that traitor in the middle. Ha ha, I say. After some discussion, Jason and I cross our arms across our chest to get back to back, then turn around to face toward the woman taking our photo. She's wearing a black pencil skirt, white blouse, and black glasses, and her hair is in a bun. What team is she on? I ask. Team Barbarians? Team Barbarians. Jason's brother Hank answers. Nothing hotter than a librarian who bowls. She takes several shots. And then Uncle Michael uploads to all of his social media accounts, tagging everyone in the group. My phone lights up with notifications, and I swipe it open. The first thing I see in my feed is a picture of Griffin and a girl from my grade below, a grade below us named Sabrina. They're sitting in the 2 folding chairs in front of a bonfire with their faces side by side. There isn't a caption, only a string of fire emojis. It's super lame, and thankfully I feel nothing when I see it. The pin ladies and T-balls finally arrive, and they're assigned the lane 4, about 4 down from ours. Olivia is trying to get them together for a group pic. I rush over and say, "Want me to take it?" She hands me her phone, and then gets between Charlie and Wes, looking at my family and Wes on the screen. I've never wanted to be a pin lady more. I take several and then hand Olivia her phone. Wait, Wes says. Let's get one of the 4 of us. Yes! Yes! Olivia squeals. Olivia and I get in the middle. Then Wes stands beside me. His arm is around me, and he pushes in close. I know my smile is ridiculous, but I can't help it. It feels like we're the Fab Four again. I should have been on that team, Olivia says once we're done with pictures. She's finally spotted Team I Can't Believe It's Not Gutter. I laugh. Sophie, Uncle Michael calls. You're up. After 2 rounds, it's obvious I am not a good bowler. In fact, after 2 rounds, my score is still 0. 0. Jason isn't much better, but at least he's in double digits. How many games do we play? I ask. 2, everyone on my team answers at the same time. They're trying to be nice to me, even though my score is dragging our team down. But we see one guy bury his face in his hands. Is it bad I'm watching the game 4 lanes down more than my own? Probably, but I'm not the only one who can't stop looking at the pink ladies and T-balls. Jason has glanced over at Sarah a dozen times. When it's my turn again, I can almost hear every member of my team groan as I line up at those dots in the floor. You need to take your first step with the hand you're holding the bowling with. You need to take your first step with the hand you're holding the bowling ball with, Wes says beside me. He's got an imaginary ball in his hand, and he steps forward on his right foot at the same time that he swings his right hand forward. It's got to be done in the same motion. Are you helping the other team? Charlie yells. We both ignore him. Wes nods to me. Try it. But don't let go of the ball yet. I hold my ball in front of me and try to recreate what he just showed me. But my timing is all wrong. I back up and try again, but the result is the same, and then he steps behind me, putting his left hand on my hip and right on my elbow. Okay, let's try it one more time, he says in my ear. I nod because the words have completely failed me at this point. He tugs at my elbow just as I step forward with my right foot and then follows me through the swing. Now, let go of it. Now go for it. I take a deep breath and get back on the starting line, and then I'm off. The ball bounces twice on the lane before it starts a very slow roll toward the pins. I spin around and look at Wes. I can't stand it. Just tell me how it ends. He laughs while he watches the slow progress of the ball behind me. My teammates are still smiling, so it must not be in the gutter yet. Wes is nodding his head and murmuring, "Keep going, keep going." When I hear the sound of pins dropping, I twirl around, in time to see 7 of them. 7 of the pins fall. I jump up and down, then throw my arms around Wes's neck. I did it! His hands grip my waist, and he pulls me in close. You're a natural, he says in my ear. Wes releases me, nudging me to get the ball for my second try. Of course, this time I go straight to the gutter, but I'm on the board. Wes walks back to his group, and I take a seat by Uncle Michael. So, I picked the wrong guy for you for tonight, didn't I? He says, with a grin. Now I get why Olivia offered to help. I shrug. Jason's nice. I'm glad I met him. Then I nod to where Jason and Sarah are talking behind us. He's going to be just fine, I think. Yeah, I suck at this, Uncle Michael laughs. Does neighbor boy feel the same way? I don't know. He's been staring at you all night. I hit Uncle Michael in the arm. Seriously? He laughs again and nods. Seriously. Wes doesn't come back to our lane for the rest of the game, but we do get busted watching each other more than once. And in the end, when all of the team scores are tallied, the Lannisters are actually not dead last. We're close, but not at the very bottom. We take it as a win. Jason and I take our rented shoes back to the counter. This is fun, he says, while we wait for the girl to bring us our own shoes, even though it didn't go the way I thought it would. I hug him briefly. He is a really nice guy, and any other time I would have been really lucky to be on a date with him. My grandmother's birthday party is tomorrow night at Eastridge. I look at Sarah, then back at him. All of my family will be there. You should stop by. He grins. You're a really cool girl, Sophie, and I would very much like to come to your grandmother's party. He gives me another quick hug and then heads toward the door. Did he just get you? Olivia says behind me. I spin around. My whole family is standing there, looking like they're ready to go to battle for me. Nah, it's not like that. We decided to go ahead and end our date here. Charlie looks at his watch. Dang, I missed it by half an hour. And then he's on the phone, presumably noting the end of the date time on the group text. Uncle Ronnie won again. How is that even possible? How is that even possible? He mumbles to himself. But I do need a ride home, I say. I'm avoiding looking at Wes because I know my feelings are written all over my face. Olivia throws an arm around my shoulders and turns me toward the door. Of course! But let's go get some pizza first. Jake hobbles in front of us, since he's still wearing that boot on his right leg. Let's get sushi, Jake says. We get pizza all the time. My vote is Whataburger, Graham says, but Olivia strikes it down. We're not going to Whataburger. Graham shakes his head. For once, I'd like to pick. The arguing continues into the parking lot. I can't pry the smile off my face. Olivia's arm is still around me. And she slowed down so there's no distance between us and the rest of the group. Are you really okay? She asks. I nod. I really am. Olivia's mouth lifts on one side. I saw that whole let me show you how to bowl move. Classic. I snort and elbow her. Charlie and Wes are standing by Wes's truck, and the rest of the family is next to Graham's SUV. Olivia pulls me to Wes's truck. He opens the passenger door and asks me, Ready to go? I sure am.